The government is hoping to ink a deal with Hutchinson Whampoa, which will lead to the expansion of the Freeport container port. The Prime Minister held talks with executives of the company in London yesterday, with plans for follow-up discussions. The hope is for increased investments with Hutchinson and the creation of jobs that Grand Bahamians have been longing for.
Hutchinson Whampoa has been a dominant presence in Grand Bahama for decades, operating properties like the Arlukaya Resort, the Freeport Harbor Company, and the Grand Bahama Airport Company Limited. And now talks with the Prime Minister propose a larger presence and bigger business at the Freeport Container Port, one of 52 ports Hutchinson operates worldwide. Financial Services and Investments Minister Ryan Pinder is part of a delegation in London.
It was an opportunity for the Prime Minister to speak with senior executives, to talk policy, to find, to really get their further commitment, which they gave to Freeport, and a commitment to have further discussions, and possibly further discussions in Hong Kong at the corporate headquarters, to solidify certain policy initiatives so we can attempt to grow not only the volume, get commitments to the expansion of the port, and commitments, like I said, to further industrial development.
Grand Bahama's economy has been slow of late, but its designation as the largest deep-water container port in the Western Hemisphere could soon prove a valuable advantage for the second city as Hutchinson looks to expand and double up on profits.
Further investment and commitment to Freeport for the port facility is very important to them. Now, being able to keep it economically viable is also very important, and that's where the industry and trade policy of the government and having it aligned with the business philosophy of Hutchinson comes into play.
The deal, once completed, is expected to take off within a year's time with a more modern, automated system and, most importantly for Grand Bahamians, much-needed job opportunities and training.
I can't give you a finite estimation at this time. Certainly, as we further discussions with Hutchinson, we'll be able to provide that finite number. But certainly, they're high tech and good jobs for Bahamians in that field, in the logistics and port operations. And we had discussions on how we would cause for the National Training Agency to partner with Hutchinson as they look to modernize the port to ensure that Bahamians are prepared for the new opportunities. But it could be exponential growth.
Meantime, the government is looking to take advantage of networking opportunities as well. They'll be prompting Hutchinson to send business in this direction so that the country can begin to turn the corner on economic improvement and job creation. Keishla Adderley, ZNS Network News.
The Prime Minister was scheduled to leave London for Sri Lanka today for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. Mr. Pinder explains how he expects the Bahamas to benefit from dialogue with world leaders at those talks.
There are a few agenda items on the heads of government that may be of relevance to the Bahamas. Certainly evaluating the global economic situation is on the agenda, but specifically there we look to discuss matters relating to small states and how we can get further cooperation amongst the Commonwealth countries to advance the economic interests of small states. Many small states suffer from similar burdens such as high debt and really a stalled or prolonged immersion from the global economic slump. And we look to be able to approach some of the larger Commonwealth countries to form strategic opportunities to address some of those needs.